Standard 9th, Subject English, Book Beehive. Good morning, children. Today we are going to do the chapter The Little Girl by Catherine Mansfield. Let us know more about the writer of this chapter. Kathleen Mansfield Murray was a prominent modernist writer who was born and brought up in New Zealand. She wrote short stories and poetry under the pen name Catherine Mansfield. When she was 19, she left colonial New Zealand and settled in England. Mansfield was diagnosed with tuberculosis in 1917 and she died in France aged 34. Lesson number 3, The Little Girl. So this chapter's theme is the relationship between children and their parents. So in this story, it is about a little girl whose feelings for her father change from fear to understanding will probably find an echo in every home. So while reading this story or by understanding this story, we will realize that these type of things it usually happens in each and everyone's house. So it is related to us, and we will find that these type of things happen in everyone's life. So let us find out what this story is about. To the little girl, he was a figure to be feared and avoided. Every morning before going to work, he came into her room and gave her a casual kiss, to which she responded with, "Goodbye, father." So the story it starts like it is a little girl, and for that little girl, he was a figure to be feared. So that it is being used for that little girl's father, and she used to fear that person very much, and she used to always avoid that person. But every morning before leaving for his job, he used to go to this little girl's room, and he used to kiss on her forehead. And then when she used to get the kiss from her father, she used to respond to him by telling him, "Goodbye, father." And oh, there was a glad sense of relief when she heard the noise of the carriage growing fainter and fainter down the long road. So after telling him goodbye, she used to feel a sense of relief that her father is going. And as soon as the sound of the carriage, so it is a very old story. So in the olden times, there were no cars and all. So at that time, the means of transportation might be the carriage, by the horse carriage might be there. So when the carriage sound, it was becoming fainter and fainter while it is moving away from the house, the little girl, she used to really feel relieved, and she used to be happy that her father is not in the house, he has gone away from there. In the evening, when he came home, he stood near the staircase and heard his loud voice in the hall. And after returning back from his office in the evening, he used to stand near the staircase, and he used to speak in a very loud voice that, "Bring me my tea into the drawing room. Hasn't the paper come yet?" And he used to loudly ask the mother that, "Bring my tea to the drawing room." And then he used to question her that the newspaper is not come today. And while mother go and see if my paper's out there and bring me my slippers. And then he used to tell her mother uh, that she should go and see if the paper is out there, and if it is there, she should bring it for him. And also he used to tell her to bring his slippers to wear. Kezia, mother would call to her, if you are a good girl, you can come down and take off father's boot. So as soon as Kezia's father would ask for slippers and for the tea, Kezia's mother would call out for her, and then she will tell her that if she is a good girl, then she will help her father to take off his boots. Slowly the girl would slip down the stairs, more slowly still across the hall, and push open the drawing room door. So when her mother will call out, unwillingly, Kezia will come down. And slip down means coming down quietly and unwillingly. So she will slowly come down the stairs and she will just open the drawing room's door. By that time, he had his spectacles on and looked at her over them in a way that was terrifying to the little girl. So, by the time Kezia enters the drawing room, father would have wore his spectacles and he would see through that spectacles towards Kezia, and this little girl, she found that look very terrifying and frightening. Well, Kezia, hurry up and pull off these boots and take them outside. Have you been a good girl today? And then he would call out for the girl and he would ask that, Kezia, you just come fast and pull out these boots and just put these boots outside. And then he would ask this little girl that she was behaving good on that day, and she used to reply, don't know father. So she used to shudder and reply to the girl, you don't know. If you stutter like that, mother will have to take you to the door. So as uh, Kezia replied that I don't know. So father is also imitating Kezia, and he is asking again that if you are continuously stuttering like this, you will be taken to the doctor by your mother. So meaning of stutter means haklana. She never stuttered with other people, had quite given it up, but only with father, because then she was trying so hard to say the words properly. So this Kezia, she never used to stutter with other people. So when she used to talk with other people, she never stuttered. But when she used to talk with her father, at that time only, she was having this habit of stuttering. And why is it so? Because she was trying so hard to impress, and as she was afraid of her father, she was stuttering. What's the matter? What are you looking so wretched out? Mother, I wish you taught this child not to appear on the brink of suicide. Here, Kezia, carry my teacup back to the table carefully. And then her father, he is asking her, what's the matter? What are you looking so wretched up? So as Kezia's father is looking towards her, he finds out that Kezia is looking very sad, and he is asking that what problem you are having, why your face is looking so sad. Mother, I wish you taught this child not to appear on the brink of suicide. So, and then he would ask his wife that what happened to this little girl. She's looking so sad, as if she is just going to commit the suicide. So, like that appearance or sadness she is having on her face. Here, Kezia, carry my teacup back to the table carefully. And then he used to call Kezia back and just ask her to keep the teacup back to the table. He was so big, his hands and his neck, especially his mouth, when he yawned. Thinking about him alone was like thinking about a giant. So this Kezia, she used to think that her father was so big. His hands and his neck, everything, it was so big, especially his mouth. And when he used to yawn, his mouth even become bigger than the usual. And she used to think that her father is like a giant and he is so big. On Sunday afternoons, grandmother sent her down to the drawing room to have a nice talk with father and mother. But the little girl always found mother reading and father stretched out on the sofa, his handkerchief on his face, his feet on one of the best cushions, sleeping soundly and snoring. So every Sunday afternoon when it was holiday, her grandmother, she used to send this little girl Kezia down to her father because she thought that the relationship, or Kezia, she used to fear her father. So they were not having a very good relationship, and she used to fear her father. So to make it little bit normal, every Sunday grandmother, she used to send Kezia down to the drawing room to have a nice talk with her father and mother. But when the little girl, she used to come down, her mother used to read something and her father, he used to relax and enjoy while sleeping on the sofa down by putting a handkerchief on his face. So we can see in this picture how Kezia's mother, she is reading, and her father, he is relaxing while sleeping on the sofa. But from this we can also come to a point that she was being neglected by her parents. Up to some extent we can think that the child will be feeling neglected because she used to come to have a chat with them, but they were busy in their own work, or we can say that. She sat on a stool, gravely watched him until he woke and stretched and asked the time, then looked at her. So she used to sit on a small table and gravely watched. Gravely means seriously, she used to sit and watch her father sleeping until he used to get up from his sleep, and he used to stretch his body, and then he used to ask her what time it is. Don't stare so, Kezia. You look like a little brown owl. And as she used to stare at her father, he used to just ask or tell Kezia that don't stare like that. You are looking like a little brown owl. One day when she was kept indoors with a cold, her grandmother told her that father's birthday was next week and suggested she should make him a pincushion for a gift out of a beautiful piece of yellow silk. So after some days, as she was being kept inside her home, she was not allowed to go outside and play because she was having a cold. So as she was spending her time with her grandmother told her that in few next week her father's birthday is there, and she suggested that she should give him some gift, and she also gave her an idea to make a cushion for her father, and it will be a very good gift for him. And she also gave her a piece of yellow silk cloth to prepare the cushion. Laboriously, with the double cotton, the little girl stitched three sides, but what to fill it up with? That was the question. So laboriously means with lot of difficulty and putting most of her effort, she took the yellow silk cloth and she stitched the three sides of the cushion. And then the big question was that what she would be filling inside the cushion. Now the grandmother was out in the garden and she wandered into mother's bedroom to look for scraps. So as grandmother was outside sitting in the garden, she didn't know what to do. So she just roamed around to looking around so that she can find something to put inside the cushion. So while moving around, she entered mother's bedroom. On the bed table she discovered a great many sheets of fine paper, gathered them up, tore them into tiny pieces, and stuffed her case, then sewed up the fourth side. So while she entered her mother's bedroom, on the side table she found many sheets of fine paper kept on there. So what she did, without thinking, she took that paper and she torn all those papers into small pieces, and then all those tiny pieces she stuffed into her cushion, and then the fourth remaining part she just stitched that fourth part also after stuffing all those pieces of paper. That night there was a hue and cry in the house. Father's great speech for the Port Authority had been lost. Rooms were searched, servants questioned. Finally, mother came into Kezia's room. So that evening, after she had prepared her cushion, that evening there was an angry protest in the house because father has prepared a speech for some meeting in the Port Authority, and that papers it were not been found anywhere. So every rooms were searched and the servants of the house were also being questioned that where those papers are being. And at last mother came into Kezia's room. Kezia, I suppose you didn't see some papers on a table in our room. Oh yes, she said. I tore them up for my surprise. So at last, after searching everywhere, Kezia's mother, she is coming to Kezia and she is asking her that I suppose you have not seen that paper. And to her surprise, Kezia is replying, oh yes, I have seen and I have torn that into small pieces. And here we can say that the girl Kezia, she is such an innocent girl that she didn't know that what she has done, it was something uh, which the father was angry about. So what the problem which was there in their house, it was all because of that paper, and without knowing the seriousness of that, she innocently accepts that yes, I have seen and I have torn those papers into small pieces for preparing the birthday gift of for her father. What? Screamed mother. Come straight down to the dining room this instant. So when mother heard the answer from Kezia, she was so angry and she just screamed on her, and then she told her to come down to the dining room where her father was uh, walking to and fro, keeping his hands at the back in the tension of not finding that papers in his room, which was very much important for his meeting. Well, he said sharply. Mother explained what Kezia had told her. He stopped and stared at the child. Did you do that? No, 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 she whispered. Mother, go up to her room and fetch down the damn thing. See that the girl's put to bed this instant. So when father knew about the papers, what had actually happened to that paper, he was so angry and he just told his wife that bring that damn thing down. So damn thing means he's referring to that cushion. So for that cushion, she had torn those important papers of her father, and he is telling his wife to bring that cushion down and also ask her to put Kezia to bed that particular instant at particular time. Crying too much to explain, she lay in the bed shadowed room watching evening light make a sad little pattern on the floor. So she was crying very much and she was not able to explain to her father that actually she has done that for preparing his gift, and she was laying on a shadowed room watching the evening light. Shadowed room means as it was dark, the light from the outside, because of that light a shadow was being there, and it was making a sad little pattern on the floor, means the as the situation, it was so angry that everything, it was very sad. That is sad little pattern on the floor means the whole room, it was like turned into a sad thing. Then father came into the room with a ruler in his hands, and then he said, I am going to beat you for this, he said. Oh, no, no, she screamed, hiding under the bedclothes. So after a few minutes, father, he is coming into this Kezia's room and he was having a ruler in his hand. And then he is telling Kezia that I am going to beat you for the mistake which you have done. And when she heard this, she just protested, oh no, no, and be to get rid of that, she is trying to hide under the bedclothes. Bedclothes means bed sheets. He pulled them aside. Sit up, he ordered, and hold out your hands. You must be taught once and for all not to touch what does not belong to you. So when she is hiding under the bed sheet, that time he is just pulling away the bed sheet, and then he orders Kezia to sit up, and then he asks her to hold out her hands, and then he explains that as you are small, you don't know what is important and what is not. So as she is small and she doesn't understand, because of her innocent, she has done this mistake. So he tells her that what thing it is not yours, you should not be touching. So once, if I'm going to punish this, and you will get to know about that what is not yours, you should not be touching, you will remember this forever. And next time, if the thing is not yours, you will always be reminded that I should not be touching it. So for that purpose, he wanted to give her punishment so that she can remember it for a lifetime. But it was for your birthday. So she just protested and she just said that I have done that for your birthday. So while she was talking or she was explaining to him, immediately the ruler came on her little pink palms. Hours later, when grandmother had wrapped her in a shawl and rocked her in the rocking chair, the child clung to her soft body. So hours later, she was angry and sad because of her father who had punished her. Grandmother, she just wrapped with a shawl and she was just rocking this little girl in the rocking chair, and she was holding and hugging her grandmother, and she was feeling her soft body while hugging her grandmother. What did God make fathers forth. She sobbed. And here's a clean hanky. Okay, so what did God make fathers for? She sobbed. So as she is just holding her grandmother and lying on the rocking chair, she is asking innocently to her grandmother that I don't know why God has created this father. So I don't want this father, because fathers, they are always scolding. So that is the big question this little girl, she is having in her mind, that why God created father. Here's a clean hanky, darling. Blow your nose. Go to sleep, pet. You will forget all about in the morning. I tried to explain to father, but he was too upset to listen tonight. So, to pacify this little girl, grandmother, she is giving her a handkerchief and telling her to clean her face because it has become dirty because of crying. And then grandmother is telling her that you just go to sleep after cleaning your face, and when you will get up in the morning, everything you will be forgetting what had happened. So at that time she is just replying to her grandmother that I tried to explain to father, but he was not ready to listen. So she is just telling her grandmother that, justifying herself by saying that I tried to explain to father, but he was not ready to listen to me. But the child never forgets. So from this we can say that this little girl, she is so innocent that till at that time also she is not getting that for what purpose her father had punished her. Actually her father punished her to remember that she should never touch others thing without taking their permission. So for that purpose her father had punished her, but she is not realizing that. And the incident which had happened, the child was never able to forget. And whenever the next time she used to see her father in front of her, she always used to keep her hands at the back side, and her cheeks color, it used to get red because of the because she was so much frightened because of her father. The McDonalds lived next door. They had 5 children. Looking through a gap in the fence, the little girl saw them playing tag in the evening. The father with the baby Mao on his shoulders, 2 little girls hanging on to his coat pockets, ran around and round the flower beds, shaking with laughter. So the next door, the neighbors, it was the McDonald's and the families. And this little girl, she used to watch them from the gap of the fence. So this McDonald's, they were having 5 children. So Mr. McDonald, she used to see that every day Mr. McDonald and these 5 children, they used to play in the evening. So father used to keep the smallest one on his shoulder. His name was, the baby's name was Mao, and the 2 little girls, they used to cling to the pockets of Mr. Mao, and they used to run round and round near the flower beds, and they were enjoying and laughing with each other. Once she saw the boys turn the hose on him, and he tried to catch them, laughing all the time. So once she saw Mr. McDonald's and the boys, they were turned, and once when she saw that these 2 little boys, they just turned on the hose, that is the pipe, and they tried to make this McDonald wet. So they were just turning the hose on, and they were trying to make Mr. McDonald wet, and they were playing with each other. So this little girl, she was thinking that in the place of Mr. McDonald, if it was her father, he would have scolded her, or he would have given her punishment. She was thinking like that. But instead of that, Mr. McDonald, he was playing with all these children, and they all are laughing and enjoying with each other in the evening time. Then it was, she decided that there were different sorts of fathers. So after looking at Mr. McDonald, she has come to a conclusion that in this world there is not only the type of father which she is having, there are different types and sorts of father in this world. Suddenly, one day, mother became ill, and grandmother and her mother went to the hospital. So one day, her mother, she becomes ill, and grandmother and mother, they are just going to the hospital. The little girl was left alone in the house with Alice the cook, and that was all right in the daytime. So, as the mother was taken to the hospital by her grandmother, this little girl, she was all left alone by uh, everyone, and only the cook Alice, she was there accompanying her. So for the daytime it was okay, but what happened, as but while Alice was putting her to bed, she grew suddenly afraid. So during the daytime, she was accompanied by Alice and she was okay with it. But as Alice was putting her to the bed, and as it became dark outside, she was afraid now. You can see that how little Kezia, she is looking through that gap. Mr. McDonald and her and his children playing in the garden. What will I do if I have a nightmare? She asked. I often had nightmares, and then Granny takes me into her bed. I can't stay in the dark. It all gets whispery. So, as it has been dark, so during the daytime, it was not a problem for Kezia because she was accompanied by the cook named Alice. But as it became dark and she was being put on her bed alone, she is asking the cook that what if I'm having nightmares? Nightmares means dream, bad dream. And she explains to Alice that often she is having this bad dreams, and when she is having these type of bad dreams, Granny always takes this little girl to her bed, and she is explaining to her that when it becomes dark, she feels as if somebody is whispering, making strange sounds. So she feels that some strange sound. So how I am going to sleep alone? You just go to sleep, child, said Alice, pulling off her socks, and don't you scream and wake your poor pa. So when Alice, she hears this, she is telling that nothing will happen, you just go to sleep, child. And while talking to this little girl, she is just pulling off Kezia's socks, and then she informs that your father is sleeping in the next room. You just don't scream and wake your poor father. But the same old nightmare came. The butcher with a knife and a rope, who came nearer and nearer, smiling that dreadful smile, while she could not move, could only stand still, crying out, "Grandma, Grandma!" She woke shivering to see father beside her bed and a candle in his hand. So, as she was put to sleep, after some time, she usually had the same type of nightmare. And in that nightmare, there was a butcher with a knife and a rope. A butcher is a person who kills animals and cut the meat. So he was having a big knife and a rope in his hand, and that butcher, he was coming nearer and nearer, and he was having a frightful smile on his face. And as he comes near to this little girl. She is not able to move from there, and she is standing still, and she is in her sleep crying out loudly, "Grandma," and "Grandma." And suddenly she wakes up from her sleep, and when she wakes up, she's still frightened because of that bad dream, that she is still shivering. And when she opened her eyes, she saw her father standing beside her bed, and he was holding a candle in his hand. "What's the matter?" he said. So when father saw her shivering and crying out for grandmother, he just asked her affectionately that what is the matter. "Oh, a butcher, a knife. I want granny." So when he asked that what's the problem is, so this little girl Kezia, she's telling that, "Oh, a butcher is there and he is having a knife in his hand." And then she tells that, "I want my granny." So he immediately understands that she is having a bad nightmare. So what he does, without asking her anything, he just blew away the candle. He blew out the candle, bent down, and caught up the child in his arms, carrying her along the passage to the big bedroom. A newspaper was on the bed. He put away the paper and then carefully tucked up the child. So when he knew that this Kezia, she was having a bad nightmare, so without asking her, he just blew off the candle and took this little child in his arms and carried her to his bedroom. And then while putting her on the bed there was a newspaper which Kezia's father was reading. So he just moved away that paper and he put that child carefully on the bed, and he just tucked up the child. Tucked up means he covered the child with the bed sheet. He lay down beside her, half asleep still, and still with the butcher's smile all about her, it seemed. She crept close to him, snuggled her head under his arm, held tightly to his shirt. So after putting her on the bed and tucked her with the bed sheet, he also lay beside her. And as he was half asleep, she was still having in her mind the butcher's smile, and she was afraid again. So what she is doing, as she is having that smile of the butcher again, she is moving closer and closer to her father. And now she is having putting her head under his arm, and she is clinging to her father's shirt. And now as she got the attention and the care which her father has shown, or affection her father has shown towards her, now slowly the fear which she was having of her father, it is slowly going away. And now she is snuggling and moving towards her father, and held her father's shirt so tightly that she felt the warmth and the love which her father was having towards her. Then the dark did not matter. She lay still. So now as she was snuggling to her father, she was not having any matter of fear now. She was not now afraid of any darkness or any butcher. She was laying still beside her father. "Here, rub your feet against my legs and get them warm," said father. And then father is asking her to rub her feet against his legs so that her legs would get warmer. Tired out, he slept before the little girl. A funny feeling came over her. Poor father, not so big after all, and with no one to look after him. He was harder than grandmother, but it was a nice hardness, and every day he had to work and was too tired to be a Mr. McDonald. She had torn up all his beautiful writings. she stood suddenly and sighed. So as Kezia's father, he was tired. He just slept before this little girl, and this little girl, as she was sleeping beside her father, snuggling with him, she had a very funny feeling, and now she was feeling all the affection and love which her father was having towards her. And now she also realized that her father also used to love her, and she's thinking that poor father is not as big or giant as I used to think about him. And it is when she used to sleep with her grandmother, she was having a very soft and tender body, and he was harder than grandmother, but that hardness is also good. And now she is still realizing that every day he has to work hard, and because of that he is not able to play with her like Mr. McDonald. So it is not a big matter now for her, because now she has realized that her father also used to love her very much. And she also realized her mistake, that she had torn the important papers which her father was supposed to use it for his meeting. So that was the mistake she had done. So now ultimately she understood the mistake which she had done, and while remembering that, she stood suddenly and made a sound. So, what's the matter? Asked her father. Another dream? So, when she made a sigh sound, her father in the sleep, he just asked her that what happened? Have you had another dream? So at that time she is replying, "Oh," said the little girl, "my head's on your heart and I can hear it going. What a big heart you have got, father dear." So now, as father is asking that, have you got any another dream? So at that time, Kezia is replying to her father that, as I have placed my head on your heart and I can hear the sound of your heart beating. So I know that you are having a very big heart. So there is no problem. And now, as you are having big heart and you love me so much, and I don't have to worry about any dream, or I don't have any fear. So from this we can say that not only father he is showing his love towards Kezia, but now Kezia is also showing her love for her father, and she realized that her father also loved her very much. So from this beautiful story, I think you can all get a lesson that our parents, for whatever reasons they are scolding us, they will be always thinking for our positivities, and we will feel that every time when they scold, that they are never listening to us, they don't feel happy, or whatever you ask they always say no, or they are always scolding. But whatever they do for us, it is always for our well-being. So we have to make this a point that though they don't show their love and affection for us very directly, but whatever activities or whatever action they does, it is always for our betterment. So I think you will get a very beautiful moral lesson from this story, and I hope you all understood this. Home assignment: write down these question answers in your notebook. Thank you for watching this video.